Hey, Canvas learners, Jim Steam Clown. Hey, I am going to talk about announcements and how I use announcements. Um, Announcements are a really good way for you to uh, let your students know, like, what are we doing today? But it also is a good way to train them to go, when they come into your classroom, for them to go, what are we doing today? And you've trained them to say, go log into Canvas, get on the announcements for today, and check out what's going on. And here's what I do. So on my homepage, right, I've got my homepage set up, and the first thing up here is announcements, because that's really where I want them to go anyway. I want them to go to announcements and be able to see what today's announcement is. Now, this is actually my Canvas, my Free for Teachers Canvas account, where I'm actually creating my class and all my stuff. And so I'll also tell you a neat trick about how to do this. But what I do is every day I have an announcement. So like day one, day two, day three, and I actually change these and make these work for today's class. So for example, if I come to today's class, right, my actual class now, right, I go over to announcements, and there are the announcements for today. And so today, if I click on Wednesday, here is the announcements for today. And let me show you what I actually do in the announcements. So I have a structure where I put the announcement together, where it's like today's date, little title of what we're doing, and this is actually good so that later I can search for some of this stuff. You can search your announcements, and this way you can find stuff a little bit easier. But what I do is I have a section here where I've got the entry ticket. This is just what do I want them to do the first 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of class, right? Sometimes it's just 5 minutes. I want them to doing something while I get kind of set up, or I actually want them to do an assignment. Sometimes I'll have a quiz here. A lot of times I'll have a read this article and then write something about it, or watch this video and write something about it, or whatever. And so so today, for example, I have them come in, get your bins, get your name tags out, get logged in, do this. And every Wednesday, I'm having this thing where they go read. They go read some stuff, and I let them read for about 15 minutes. And in fact, I might let them read, some technology-based thing, right? So it has to be related to my class, but like they can pick. And I've got some books, I got magazines, trade magazines, all kinds of stuff. And they go do that. And so when they come into class today, they just came in, they signed in, they got logged in, and I didn't really have to tell them, right? I'm still training them, but like they're getting to the point where I go in and they come in and they sit down and they get logged in and they look up the screen, because I have this actually on the screen right now. And they look at that and they go, oh, the book. And they get up and they go get a book, or they go get a trade magazine, right? And they just start working. I don't even have to tell them, right? So it's really nice to have a structure where they do that. And I have that in every single announcement. I have an announcement for every day, and it just goes forward, right? And then I have a section here called special announcements. And this is where I might put something that's happening. There might be a webinar or something that's happening that they can go see, outside of class. There might be a trade show that's happening that they could go to a convention and go see, go to a trade show, expo floor or something like that. There could be a meetup. There could be whatever, right? Something happening on the weekend that I want them to go have an opportunity to at least go see. I put that there in my special announcements. And I'll also put stuff here like, oh, this week we're having a fire drill, or this week we're going to go over to the auditorium to hear a quick lecture about the school, or whatever. That's what I put in these special announcements, so that there's like just a spot where they go, oh, what is happening, right? And of course, then I always post meme of the day. Jupiter being a jerk and throwing things at us. And then I have a section here called new assignments. And what I do here is I actually have some ongoing assignments. And these are things that I'm just assigning. And I'm going to assign these three things here: my STEM magazine thing, my Crash Course Engineering video, and Robot Friday, where they go watch some videos. And they get to pick. And I provide time during the week. So every other day or so, I'm going to say, okay, next 15 minutes, pick one of the assignments and do it. So they don't have to do it as homework. But I also, as we get going in the semester, I'm going to have time where they got kind of open lab and they've got things they can do and they got a project they're working on or they got something they didn't finish from yesterday or whatever. And so it's open time. And so I tell them, hey, if you haven't done this, go do this, right? Otherwise, they have to do it at home as homework. But I have these ongoing assignments, and there'll be 3 of these every week. It'll just change every week. There'll be a new one there, new set. But then I also have the assignments for like the week. So if there's a new assignment, something happens on Monday, and they get a quiz, then I stick it here as well. I'll show you where I stick it the first time I assign it. But then I just kind of let them accumulate here so that there's just a one place for them to go to see that. I know it's a little bit of work, but it's just really cut and paste, and you'll see how it's actually pretty easy to do. Then I have a section here where it's today's lecture and lab. And this is like what we're doing. So after they've done the entry ticket and I've taken a roll and all that kind of stuff and we've got going, then I go, okay, so stop what you're doing, turn in your stuff, turn in your entry ticket, take 1 more minute to finish up, and then I jump into today's lecture and lab. And I'll have here, like, what are we doing today, right? And so, for example, I have an engineering notebook. It's just a Google Doc that they write stuff in and take notes in and put experiment information in and whatever. And every student has one. And so today I did a little review of like, okay, we're doing pretty good, but let's look at a few of these and let's talk about what's good and how you can improve and what I'm expecting. And so I show off a few of the different engineering notebooks that the students have done. And I pick a couple of students. I ask them if they, it's okay to share, and then I talk about it, right? And I show what's good, so that then all the students can actually get, better at doing that. So that's one thing I do in my class, and I post it here. This is what we're going to do. And then also today we were doing some soldering, and so got a bunch of solder stations set up, and they already did some of that. But like I have some links to some videos that we watched the first day. A couple of these, and we talked about them, and they wrote stuff down in their engineering notebook. They took notes in their engineering notebook for this. And then I had them go solder, right? They off go solder, and they have a little thing where they have to solder a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to grade them on some soldering, right? And so that takes an hour or whatever. And then the next thing we were doing today was there's a robotics thing, right? So basically, you just take this structure here and make it be what you're doing, right? So that the students who are there, they have an opportunity to see what you're doing, what's going to happen today, right? They can kind of preview what's happening. But also, students who aren't there today have an opportunity to go look and see what they missed, right? And then they can go do some homework, and they can go watch some of those videos, and they can go, do some of the assignments that they missed, right? And sometimes there's going to be lab work that you did in lab, and you're just not going to be able to replicate that, and they kind of miss that, right? And you just have to figure out how to help them catch up on those kind of things. But most of the time, if it's an assignment they have to do in Canvas, they can go look and see what it is, and they can go do that in Canvas, right? So, for example, so anyway. Got all the announcements here, and so I've got an announcement every day, and I'll just keep having an announcement. So what I do, let me go back to my other class. What I do in typically, right, is I'll go to my announcements. I'll have my announcement for that particular day, and I can go and then just cut and paste it. I guess the last thing I didn't tell you about was I put at the bottom of my announcements like helpful links. And so these are links that are going to be useful to them. And this list will just grow and grow and grow and grow. And I just cut and paste it, right? I just cut and paste it and when I copy this. So here's what I do. When I do in the next day's announcement, so I'm showing up that evening or the next day right before class, I come in, I go to the yesterday's announcements, I click edit, I copy and paste it, right? Copy and paste the whole thing. I come back to announcements. I click on new announcements. I paste. That was because I had one that I exited before I saved it. I paste, the announcements from yesterday in there, and then I go edit it. Right? I go change stuff. I go and change it. Go fiddle stuff. And so what's nice is that hey, all this is the same from yesterday, and if there was some new assignment, I can just go copy and paste it from down here, and I just copy and paste it up here. So basically, here's a nice place to keep all the assignments for that particular week. Right? As they grow, as you have assignments each day, you just paste them here, and that way they're just there. Right? And then you just come in and just modify all this other stuff, right, for whatever you're doing that particular day. Now, what I do for each section here is, I try and throw some learning objectives in there, and then I come and I have any presentation that I have. I always try and link to it. And so these are just Google slides, and I put all my Google slides up on my my personal Google account, and I just point to them, and they are open, shared, anyone with a link, right? I know that some teachers are like, I bled my curriculum on this, right? But like, I don't have time for that. And I think that, you should make your material available to your students, but also like make it available to other teachers. If they're not in our districts or in any of the, right? If they're across the country, and it's like you're just helping a teacher out. So anyway, I post all my presentations. So they click on that, it's just going to open up a Google slide presentation, and that'll be the slide presentation that I might be using that day to do the quick lecture, right? Do a quick lecture, and then I have any additional links. So if there's some videos or some other resources, other pages, or something out on the internet that's good for them to go check out, I put it here, right? And then I have instructions, expectations, and it's like whatever the instructions are, right? Here it's like take some notes in your engineering notebook. If needed, review the slides, right? And then I have how to submit. So what are they going to submit? What is the thing I want them to do after we've done a lecture, after they've reviewed some stuff? What do I want them to do? And that's where I'll just put a Canvas assignment. So here I just have a little quiz on who was Simon George. And, a different day I would have, a Ohm's Law, an Ohm's Law quiz, and they'll do that, or a digital multimeter quiz, or, whatever, right? It's whatever you're doing, you just have those things there. And then I try to have, and a lot of times I try to have a link here where it's like dig deeper. So some of your students are going to get done fast, and they're going to be like, what do I do now? Get my phone out and play? No, I train them to like go dig deeper, right? And go find some more information about the topic that we're doing. So try and differentiate the stuff so that you can focus on the students who are just barely getting it, or just making it, getting the stuff done in the time that you think it should be done. But then your students who are like getting stuff done quick, let them have something to dig deeper on. And so I always try to have some dig deeper thing that's there. All right. So the last thing that I want to show you, and I figured this out the other day, and I'm like, oh, this will be awesome, right? Is that now I have this announcement, and this is in my class template. So it's not the live one that I'm doing in my class today, but I want to save it. And the problem with announcements is that you can't like save them for later very well. I mean, you can. There's a thing you can do, but like all you can do is publish them. You can't not publish them, right? So what I do is I scroll down here, and I have this. Let's see, where is it? I have this delay posting, right? Delay posting. And so what you do is you create your thing in your personal Canvas free for teachers account, right? And you can delay posting. And that way, then next year, I've got all my announcements. They're all ready to go. All I have to do is kind of fiddle with them, maybe change the dates, adjust things, basically, because if I did something new one day or different, move things around. But what I do is I come in here and I post it. This is not set. Let me go back to one that's actually, this is because this is a brand new one. Let me go back to, let's say, I'm going to leave. Let me go back to one of the ones I had here. So like this one, right? I come in here, I come to edit, I scroll down, and I go post it for January 7th, 2092 at 7 a.m., right? I just posted it way out in the future. I'm going to be long gone. What's the significance of that date? that's Ripley's birthday from Aliens. So, but that way it's posted, it's saved, but it's not posted, so it's not live. And that way, when I bring this whole class into my current this year's class, I can suck all those announcements in, and they're all there, ready to be posted, but not there. So that's just kind of a cool tip. If you're saving these announcements in a different version of your class, and you're doing that. So what I do is I do today's announcement in my current class, and then I go make a copy and do it over there. You have to make sure that you adjust all the links to your assignments because they're different classes. Like for example, if you look up here at the top of the thing, you got course, and it's got a number here. That course number is the course number of my personal account one, and then if I come over here, then there's the course number here. So if you cut and paste, stuff from your announcements, and they're linking to actual Canvas assignments, those links are going to be to your current one, and you have to fix them. The nice thing about this, though, when you bring a class over from say your personal Free for Teachers account, and you export a archive, and then you import that archive, Canvas knows how to fix all that, and it just fixes all that. So it just changes all those numbers. Anyway, this is a long-winded explanation of how I use announcements. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you later. Bye.